Hey, what's up all my dope creators? My name is Mr. Tohono, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips on how to draw a dope looking skull. For this, the materials I'm laying out in front of you are pretty much all you're going to need. So as you can see, we got a pencil, a white colored pencil, a sharpener to sharpen those pencils, and some gray toned paper from Strathmore. For this video, I'm going to be drawing a cat skull. I also wanted to show you the type of pencils that I would be using in this video. I don't remember the brand name, but you can pretty much find these kind of pencils at like your local Michaels or Hobby Lobby, or any of your local art supply stores. Really quickly too, I also wanted to show you my first attempt at drawing a skull, and the skull that I drew was a skull of a budgerigar. If you don't know what that is, it's pretty much the little budgie parrots that you would find at any of your like local pet stores, you know, the little green and blue ones. I would say it's a good first attempt, but there's definitely some work that I could definitely improve on. I would definitely say with this drawing, I improved a lot more as far as paying more attention to the structure of the skull and just the basic techniques with the graphite and color pencils as well. So the first tip that I wanted to share with you on how to draw a skull is just start with the basic shapes. Right from the start, I just draw a oval shape that pretty much represents the entire structure of the skull itself. And as you can see right here, I take my time with also making sure the distance between each part of the skull is correct. I would say that's like the next tip that I would say is just take the time to look at your reference and make sure that everything is spaced out evenly. And with this, there is going to be a lot of erasing and a lot of redos, but that's totally okay because it's literally all just part of the learning process. And the more times you actually do this, the faster you're going to learn at trying to achieve this. Also, if you don't get anything right the first time, that's okay too. Don't beat yourself up over minor little mistakes that you make, because with each passing mistake, that's another lesson learned. And don't also try to strain yourself over trying to get everything super correct if this is your first time, or if it's been a while since you've drawn a skull yourself. Trust me, this is literally only my second attempt at drawing a skull, and even then, I don't really think it's much better, or it's as perfect as it could be. But the one point that I want to try to get across is just enjoy the process of learning how to structure your drawing. Even right here, where I had to fix the mouth a little bit just so that the teeth could fit in correctly, I didn't try to strain myself or get frustrated with myself for messing up like that. It was just a lesson that I had to learn, and even then I still enjoyed the process of at least figuring things out so that I can get everything to fit correctly. Now moving on, the pencil that I'm going to be using here is a 2B pencil to add in the shading. My next tip as far as shading goes is when you're shading, to make the process of your drawing go faster, start with the darkest areas first, then work your way to the lighter shades. One of the great benefits of drawing on gray tone paper is that you have your midtones already set in place. So all you really need to focus on is the darkest areas, and later on when we get into using the white color pencil, you can start using the pencil to add in the highlights. Now you can do the same thing with tanned tone paper as well, although I will admit I haven't really delved deep into using tanned toned paper myself, although I have seen other people use tanned tone paper for this same style of drawing as well. I suppose I should also go into why I think it's a good idea to practice sketching and drawing skulls in general, both human and animal skulls. I believe when you take the time to actually look at the inner structure of any living creature, whether it be, again, a human being or an animal, I firmly believe that it's a great idea to take a look at the inner workings of what you're drawing so that you can get a basic idea of how to draw the basic structure of a human head, or in this case, a cat's head. And you can also see where their eyes would be placed, where their mouth would be placed, or where their teeth would be placed in general, where their jaw line would start. And this is just me personally. I think drawing skulls are kind of cool. I was mainly inspired to do this drawing from Slew here on YouTube, which, if you haven't heard of him at this point, I'd be very, very surprised. Now, if you do want to check out some of his stuff, I will leave his YouTube channel linked in the description below. Trust me, this dude knows what he's doing. And he's also a big fan of drawing skulls as well, if I hadn't mentioned that already. Now, on to the next tip, which I just showed you the white color pencil just a second ago. With the white color pencil, as far as the highlights go, start with the whitest areas first. Like, look at your reference and see where the brightest and whitest areas are, and highlight and shade in those areas first. So then, again, just like with the darker shading, you can continue on and color in some of the more dimmer lighted areas as well. Again, this is pretty much just a repeat of the previous tip where I told you to darken the darkest areas first and then work your way to the lighter areas. This is pretty much the same thing except in reverse. You start with the brighter areas first and then work your way to the dimmer areas. I mean, as far as the shading goes, it's really not that hard. Really, the hardest part is just to draw the stupid skull in general. Now, what I'm doing right here is something that you can do yourself, or if you don't want to. This is just me personally, but I like to add a little shadow just so that the skull actually looks like it's laying down on a surface rather than making it look like it's floating in midair. Now, right here, I actually used a black Prismacolor pencil to add in some of the finer and darker details that were left in the picture. And if I'm being completely honest, you could actually just use a white color pencil and a black color pencil to do all of the shading. And you could just use a regular pencil to do the drawing as well. Pretty much your choice of materials is limitless. It's really up to you whether you want to use a regular pencil or a black color pencil or whatever you want to use. It's totally up to you, man. I really do hope you found this video very informative and it actually helped you as far as like basic drawing and basic shading goes. I just want to make sure that you at least learned a thing or two and hope you actually got something out of this video. And since this is a cat related video, look at my little son Emmett. Ain't he the cutest little dude? And if you like cats, you can go ahead and press that like button so that Emmett can be a little bit happier with his life. And you can also subscribe too and turn on that notification bell whenever I upload a video next. And until next time, stay creative, my dope creators.